Welcome to the amazing world of Star Force. Hello, I'm your host, Sidney Paul. In this film, we will explore some of the amazing mysteries of the universe around us. These mysteries are among the most inexplicable and astonishing events in man's recorded history. Stories which have caused thousands of scientists throughout the years to wonder about the many miraculous events in the world around us. So sit back, relax, and come with us on an amazing voyage through the world of Star Force. A world of unexplained mysteries, UFOs, monsters from other worlds, and creatures which haunt our waking dreams. Do UFOs exist? Are there monsters from other worlds which wait for us out there? Join us then in a voyage to the ends of the universe. A voyage through the heavens to man's tomorrow in the world of the future. The world of space fiction and science fact. The world which reaches from a launching pad at Cape Canaveral to the most distant star in the heavens. Much of what you will see will seemingly be beyond belief, but it is all a part of the most amazing collection of mysteries ever explored by man. The world of deep space myth and mysteries. These incredibly accurate photo pictures of the moon raise an interesting question. Is the moon inhabited by a subterranean race of creatures who wait silently for their chance to invade the Earth? What caused these craters on the surface of the moon? Are they natural, or perhaps created by a superior intelligence to disguise missile launching pads? As we zoom in on the surface of the moon, we are reminded how different conditions are on our sun, where molten lava spews forth the heat of millions of years' worth of volcanic energy. Could there possibly be life on the sun, or at the center of the sun, where a UFO launching pad could be hidden, sending alien scouts to spy on Earth? It could happen. And no one really knows for sure what sorts of creatures, what sorts of worlds exist out there, and what form life may take. Our picture-taking satellites keep track of conditions in outer space, watching the weather in our skies, and also searching for enemy rockets, or possibly alien visitors from outer space. The maps which these picture-taking satellites send back tell us more about the world around us and help us to better understand and control Earth weather conditions. They also tell us more about the mysteries of outer space. And perhaps they will help us finally to answer the question, does life exist on other planets? At Mission Control, scientists keep watch over masses of important data which come in around the clock from the picture-taking satellites. These satellites can do surveillance under temperature conditions which would kill any human space explorer. In addition, the satellites will help us map our universe and aid in navigation when we finally reach for the stars. Present maps of the universe are often quite inaccurate, but with the aid of such satellites as the Mariner, Explorer, and Skylab, we are able to get a better idea of the true geographic conditions in our universe. The incredibly sensitive cameras on board the satellite continually scan the surface of our globe, searching for possible alien invaders. And someday, this round-the-clock surveillance may pay off. In the meantime, the ever-increasing documentation on conditions in our universe gives us a better idea of who we are and what our true place in the universe is. We do photographic research of our own planet and on the planets around us as well, and even the moons which circle our neighboring planets. This sort of complete documentation will help us in answering the question of whether or not intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe. For every planet we explore is another planet which we may find life on. Or else, we can mark off the planet in question as one which definitely could not support life as we know it. The small orbs Phobos and Deimos are completely barren and devoid of life. It is unlikely that any sort of intelligent life will ever be found on these small hunks of rock floating silently in space. But there are other planets, other worlds where we may find intelligent life. And so, the search goes on. Could life possibly exist in such an arid desert as this? Is there life which could exist under conditions like those found in our own Sahara Desert? It is possible. And who can tell what sort of strange alien life forms might wait beneath these swirling sands? Perhaps these alien life forms could exist on rock and dust and not need oxygen or other life support as we know it. If life does exist on other planets, it may take many forms, and we will have to continue to explore our universe, searching for answers behind the question of extraterrestrial life. Here we see Nix Olympica, one of the extinct volcanic craters in the universe. Burned out volcanic areas such as these abound on the moon and other supposedly barren planets. But was there once life on the moon? Was the moon once the home of aliens who died in the aftermath of atomic war or destroyed themselves by wasting their resources? We cannot be certain. For out in the universe, how many thousands of civilizations could have existed? These civilizations might have existed for millions of years, and we would not even know it. Entire civilizations might have existed on the moon millions of years ago. And now, when we look at the moon, we see only a desolate wasteland. Is this our only work for a tomorrow where all men are brothers? Or certainly, mankind will perish. The Earth is a green and verdant planet, full of many wonders and beautiful sights. We have our own volcanoes and our forests. We can imagine that the moon was also once covered with lush vegetation until the moon's civilization met with an untimely end. Consider Pompeii, the ancient city whose inhabitants were caught in the onslaught of a raging volcano. The entire town was buried alive with all its inhabitants in a matter of minutes. Could this have happened on the moon on a global scale? The questions continue to multiply as we look at the amazing world around us. Here are a collection of UFO photos which offer an astounding glimpse into the amazing world of UFO sightings and visitations. This silvery disk was seen floating in the sky in the southwest of the United States in the late 1960s. Here is another UFO sighting. This object flashed and whirred in the skies over a New Jersey town in 1966. No explanation was ever given for the sighting. Here is a top hat UFO photographed over the California freeway in the early 1970s. This astonishingly clear photograph has been subjected to detailed analysis and is considered genuine. Here are strange glowing lights which were seen by a news team in the Deep South in the early 1970s. These strange blobs of light hovered near the power lines in a sleepy Georgia town one summer night and were photographed by members of the local TV station's news team. The newsmen all swore to the authenticity of the sighting and submitted sworn affidavits with the photographic evidence. Are these, then, UFOs? You be the judge. And the UFO sightings continue to astound newsmen and researchers around the globe. Here are just a few of the many sightings that have occurred throughout the last few years. In all cases, the eyewitnesses swore to the authenticity of the sightings, and although local officials were often skeptical of the reports, the number of UFO sightings increases daily. Do UFOs exist? Do they come from other planets to watch the Earth at the bidding of their alien masters? These astounding photographs, often taken under conditions of tight security, offer evidence which many researchers believe will lead us to the final answer. Are we alone in the universe? Did a UFO buzz the presidential helicopter? This amazing photo shows a UFO-shaped ring next to the president's helicopter as it took off from the White House lawn in 1977. But actually, the ring is a flaw in the film, and this is not a genuine UFO photograph. This UFO was seen from the window of a commercial jetliner over Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. No explanation has ever been given for this astounding photograph. Here are some additional UFO sightings. This white glowing object appeared in the night sky of Tennessee not more than 3 years ago. These white glowing streaks were noticed in the Virginia sky in the summer of 1966. These extraterrestrial visitors were seen in a field near Darien, Connecticut in 1965. Again, the sighting was accompanied by sworn affidavits and eyewitness testimony. These strange glowing lights were seen in the Montana mountains on a fall evening in 1973. No explanation was ever given for the incident, and there were no other aircraft or weather balloons in the area during the period of this astonishing UFO sighting. These glowing discs were photographed by a young boy in Texas in the late 1950s. This particular sighting was seen by a crowd of more than 1,000 people, as well as local police officials and state police deputies. These 6 UFOs were photographed in the sky over the New Mexican desert in the late 1960s. Again, no explanation has ever been advanced for this incredible piece of documentary evidence. These glowing shapes were seen in the sky near Annapolis, Maryland in 1973. Once again, local authorities could do little more than stare at this astounding photograph and wonder. This UFO was photographed in Sicily in 1969. Note the distinctive cone shape of this UFO. It looked something like a NASA space capsule. But what would a space capsule be doing among the mountains of Sicily? Again, no official explanation for this photograph. This UFO was seen in the sky over Tokyo on a hot summer night in 1971. Hundreds of thousands of astonished onlookers watched as the UFO hovered over the Ginza Strip, then vanished. This early UFO picture was taken at the London Zoological Museum in the early 1900s. This is one of the first photographic records of an actual UFO sighting and is accompanied by the eyewitness testimony of 3 onlookers and a policeman. This UFO was following a Japanese bomber during World War II. It is a photo from official government files. Yes, in the vast illimitable reaches of space, who knows what creatures may be out there, waiting to hear from us, and what strange life forms may we find on an alien world. Come with us as we move through the heavens to the furthest corners of the galaxy on a search for the answers to the mysteries of outer space. How did life begin on an alien planet? Here is the possible beginning of life on a world far from our own, as nucleic acids combine to form the chain of life. This could be the start of a race of intelligent beings in a world we do not even know the name of. And what mysteries lurk out there in space? What will our satellites tell us as they drift silently through space? Will they discover the existence of strange plant and animal forms on worlds which are far away in a remote corner of our universe? These alien life forms would have to adapt to incredibly adverse conditions and be able to search for food in an environment often absolutely hostile to any form of life. Plants would have to move about the ground, searching for sustenance from the barren alien Earth. Alien life forms could be many things, existing on gases which we find poisonous, able to withstand long dry spells and temperature extremes running into the millions of degrees above or below zero. To give us a better idea of what conditions might be like on an alien world, scientists have developed a number of probes to search the planets, taking soil samples, temperature readings, radiation counts, and bringing back information which will assist us in our exploration of the universe. One day, these exploratory research units may pave the way for colonies of Earth travelers as they reach out into space to conquer the stars. By taking soil and sand samples from the many planets in our solar system, we can get a better idea as to what sort of conditions exist on our neighboring planets. And as we know more about our universe, we get closer to answering the question, is there intelligent life out there in some remote section of our ever-expanding universe? Either there is, or there isn't. And either possibility is astounding. Come with us now on an astounding voyage through the universe for a look at the many wonders of outer space. Here's a UFO seen in Helsinki in the winter of 1966. This is yet another amazing piece of evidence which suggests we are not alone. Here is a UFO hovering in front of a snow-capped mountain in Tibet. Although the U.S. government has discontinued the official study of UFOs, UFO study continues around the world in private research laboratories. This UFO, indicated here by the black arrow, was seen hovering over a ship in the North Atlantic Sea. No explanation was ever advanced for this photograph, which has been subjected to detailed analysis. Here is a UFO seen in the sky in the southern United States in the late 1960s. Is this strange disc-shaped object an actual alien craft from another world? What do you think? Here is a UFO which was seen in the backyard of a man in the eastern United States in the early 1970s. You can see the man in the lower right corner of the screen and the UFO in the sky over his head. The man swore that the photo was completely genuine. These alien visitors appeared on a road in Tennessee and have been the subject of several sightings. Note the glowing metallic suits and the strange aura emanating from the alien creatures. Sightings like these have become increasingly common, and more scientists wonder if these are not perhaps actual visitors from another world. This craft was seen hovering in the sky over Southern California in 1957. What is it? And what is this UFO? What are the strange markings on the bottom of this craft? This is one of the clearest UFO photos in existence. This UFO was photographed hovering over a field in the United States about 5 years ago. Note the classic disc shape of the object. What is the explanation for this strange sighting? The questions continue. Here is a UFO sighting from Teorema, Sicily. Here the UFO is difficult to see, nearly transparent, and hovering silently over the craggy peaks. These UFO lights were photographed over a range of mountains. What do these strange lights signify? Are these really alien visitors from outer space? Here is another amazing UFO sighting. This UFO is executing a difficult roll maneuver, photographed by an amateur snapshot enthusiast who just happened to have his camera. Here is another UFO, a metallic disc object hovering in the sky. Many possible explanations have been advanced for UFOs, and most UFO sightings are easily explained away. However, for approximately 5% of the UFO sightings, the government has no explanation. Here is a drawing of a UFO as sketched by an eyewitness to a sighting in the southern United States. The witness drew this sketch for police arriving at the scene of the sighting. This UFO was photographed in the act of doing a somersault over the Indian Ocean. These photos were taken from the deck of a freighter. And what sort of life might we find on an alien world? What sort of creatures are out there in space? What level of intelligence would we find on another world, assuming that intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe? Scientists have many theories about how life began. But even though we have amassed a great deal of knowledge, the riddle of creation continues to elude scientists. And the final answer to the question remains, waiting for us in the illimitable stretches of space. There, on the surface of a planet far from our own, our future destiny may await us. In the meantime, our satellites continue to conduct surveillance activities on the surface of our own planet and worlds beyond our own. The search for life goes on, wherever man may find it. These map photos of alien worlds will one day assist us in our possible journey to another planet, to bring back minerals and precious industrial materials. And possibly, we will use the moon or Mars or another planet for a military base to protect us in the future. Any of these destinies is possible. What will the future really hold? But although such space exploration is part of our future, we also have a proud heritage in the race for space. The manned explorations of the NASA astronauts, beginning with the historic flight of John Glenn in the first orbiting space capsule, culminated in the Apollo mission to the moon. Come with us now as we relive this amazing journey of man into the realms of deep space. The first man on the moon, the first giant step into space and the future.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Neil Armstrong reporting the roll and pitch program, which puts Apollo 11 on proper heading.
Slowly, but gathering speed. Going beautifully, burning hot.
Plus 30 seconds.
Roll complete and a pitch is programmed.
One Bravo. We're through the region of maximum dynamic pressure now. Set 8 mile range, 12 mile high. Velocity of 4,000
Stand by on Mode 1 Charlie. Mark, Mode 1 Charlie. 1 Charlie.
Cliff Charlesworth taking a staging status.
Houston, you are go for staging. Board cutoff.
Cable engines out.
Come in, board cutoff.
Downrange 35 miles, 30 miles high. Standing by for the outboard engine. Good bit now.
our hot water out of a little spigot up here with a filter on it that filters any gases that may be in the drinking water out. And we just stick the end of the little tube in the end of the spigot and pull the trigger 3 times for 3 ounces of hot water and then punch it up and slice the end off it. There you go. Beautiful chicken soup. Like the pictures, but like the difference between watching a real football game and one on TV, no substitute for actually being here. We're getting a good view of the track leading into the landing site now. For your information, your current altitude is 148 nautical miles above the surface. I'm unable to determine altitude at all looking out the window. I couldn't tell we were down at 60 or up at 170. I'll bet you could tell us you were down at 50,000 feet. This is Apollo Control. That separation maneuver was performed as scheduled, giving the command module a delta V of about 2.5 feet per second, which should give a separation to the 2 vehicles of about 1,100 feet at the beginning of the descent orbit insertion maneuver. You going right down US-1, Mike? That's 4. 30, sit down, down. 60 seconds. Lights on. 6. Down 2.5. Forward. Forward. 3 feet down, 2.5. Pick up the top. 3 feet, 2.5 down. Big shadow. Tranquility, we copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. Thank you. You're looking good here. So, Houston, that may have seemed like a very long final phase. The auto-targeting was taking us right into a football field-sized crater. With a large number of big boulders and rocks for about 1 or 2 crater diameters around it, and it required us on the C-66 and flying manually over the rock field to find a reasonably good area. Radio check and verify.
The mood becomes tense. Will the mission successfully touch down on the surface of the moon? In the control room, scientists keep watch over the long control panels, carefully monitoring every activity of the Apollo spaceship. This is the payoff. Millions upon millions of dollars, thousands upon thousands of man-hours, and all the care and skill that can possibly be put into any man-made object. If anything goes wrong, there will be no way to correct the error in the vastness of space. On board the ship, the mood of the astronauts is tense. Will the mission go successfully? An entire world waits in silence for the answer.
I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Tell me if you got a picture, Houston. Well, we've got a beautiful picture, Neil. Okay, I'm going to move it.
But was this a giant leap for mankind? Or was it just a small step in the vast design of the universe? Now that man has reached the moon, what then? How many other worlds, how many other galaxies must man conquer before he can truly be called master of the universe? This mission to the moon is only the beginning in the exploration of space and points up again the fact that in space travel, man is a relative beginner. If UFOs do exist and can easily travel from planet to planet, they are undoubtedly far more advanced than we are. Who can say what will happen when an alien ship finally touches down on the Earth in a public location? What will happen to us in a UFO-dominated world? As we explore space and the moon and the planets beyond our solar system, we grow ever closer to understanding all the riddles of our amazing universe.
Okay, here's another good one. Okay, we got that one. Okay, now this one's right down south, big west. And I want to know if you can see an angular rock in the foreground. Roger, we have a large angular rock in the foreground that looks like a much smaller rock a couple inches to the left of the road. From the planet Earth, first set foot upon the moon, July 1969, AD. It came in peace for all mankind. It has the crew members' signatures and the signature of the President of the United States. Generating. Yeah, radio is clear. They're going. Roger, the EVA is progressing beautifully. I believe they're setting up the flight now. Great. I guess I'm up till we first around and just have TV coverage on this. You're trying to outline it, man. How is the quality of the TV? Oh, it's beautiful, Mike. It really is. Okay, that's great. Is the lighting halfway decent? Yes, indeed. They got the flag up now. You can see the stars. Okay, that's the flag up now. That would be an honor. Go ahead, Mr. President. From the and it certainly has to be the most historic telephone call. I just can't tell you how proud we all are of what for every American, this has to be the proudest day of our lives. And for people all over the world, I am sure they too join. 26, 36 feet per second out. Pitch over. Roger. And they're very close to flying Armstrong and Control Collins. About to turn it over. I'll stop. Matter of fact, I can stop right here if you like that. Right, because as we saw in our simulation, Frank, after the Eagle, the lunar rocket to clearly see the docking target on the command module. Eagle, Houston, middle gimbal, and you might pass to Columbia. We don't have him yet. That's right. I'm not going to do a thing, Mike. I'm just letting your whole head. One or both of their antennas are out of position, and Houston apparently doesn't want to bother them while they're in this critical docking phase.
And finally, splashdown. The astronauts return to Earth and a triumphal reception by the entire world. The mission to the moon brought back soil samples, rock samples, precious clues to the origin of our universe. What sort of samples will we bring back from our exploration of other planets, far beyond our solar system? Until the day arrives when our space exploration vehicles are much more sophisticated, man will have to content himself with short hops to the moon. To explore a planet many millions of light years away, man would need a rocket ship powered by some as yet unknown source of energy, which would be able to drive the ship at several times the speed of light. When the day of light warp space travel arrives, these rocket ships will look incredibly primitive, and our triumphant trip to the moon will be no more than a child's first uncertain steps in the world around him. From outer space, we return to Earth for a look at some of the incredible phenomena in our world today. This is an aerial photograph of the famed Loch Ness in Scotland, home of the Loch Ness Monster, one of the world's most famous sea serpents. Here is an exceptionally clear photograph of the Loch Ness Monster frolicking in the lake. This photo shows a cage which was built to house the Loch Ness Monster after its capture. But as we all know, the monster was never captured and remains a mystery to this day. This photo shows the Loch Ness Monster rearing her pretty head above the calm waters of the loch and is considered by all authorities to be a genuine photo of the Loch Ness sea serpent. Here is Nessie swimming placidly in the waves of the loch. And here, a wider view of the lake, with Nessie swimming tranquilly in the foreground, bottom right. Here, the humps of Nessie's long trunk are clearly visible in this astonishing photograph. There are many, many pictures of the Loch Ness Monster, and although many explorers and scientists continue to search for the Loch Ness Monster, no one has ever captured the creature. But stories of the creature persist to this day, and many of the local inhabitants claim to have seen the Loch Ness Monster on innumerable occasions. In a local castle by the loch, the inhabitants claim to have seen Nessie 3 times. Sketches of the creature were published in the daily papers in the 1880s. This photo shows the Loch Ness Monster placidly swimming in the cold waters of the loch. Is the Loch Ness Monster really a prehistoric dinosaur, as this drawing of an ancient plesiosaur suggests? It could be that Nessie is a missing link to our prehistoric past. Here is more amazing UFO evidence. This photo clearly shows a UFO hovering in a field in southern France. This is just one of a series of pictures which show the UFO in flight, gradually disappearing behind a large clump of trees. These pictures were taken by a man on a picnic with his wife and child, who got more than he bargained for when he took these incredible snapshots. In this final photo of the series, the UFO, clearly visible as a metallic silvery disc with a dark band near the top of the craft, vanishes behind the trees. And another astonishing chapter in the UFO story is written. Here is another UFO seen in the air over a ship at sea. The UFO hovered, then vanished. Here, another disc-shaped UFO hovers over the ground near a military base. This astounding photo has never been explained. Here is an extreme close-up of the UFO, which suddenly appeared in front of a man during broad daylight. The man snapped this blurred close-up of the UFO before it vanished into the night sky. Here is another shot of the craft as it sped away rapidly to the east. Here, a side view of a disc-shaped UFO. Of all the UFO reports which come in from all around the world, over 85% of the sightings involve a disc-shaped object. Here is a final view of this UFO hovering in the sky. Do you believe in UFOs? Do UFOs visit the Earth? You have seen the evidence. What do you think? What waits out there in outer space, in the vast, illimitable dominion of the universe? Man has always dreamed of exploring the stars and the universe. But until the day when man's rockets become faster than the speed of light, man's exploration of the universe will be severely limited. But why must we wait to explore the universe? Why not now? What are these strange white dots of light approaching the Earth? Are they UFOs? Whatever they are, they join the many mysteries of the cosmos. So come with us as we travel across space and time for a look at the many amazing mysteries of our incredible universe. In the future, rockets may blast off from alien planets routinely as they explore the mysteries of outer space. In the whole universe, we will never run out of worlds to explore and mysteries to unlock. The work is only the beginning, and many more expeditions, manned and unmanned, will be needed to bring us into closer contact with the forces at work in the universe. Here, the arrow points to the sun of an alien universe. How very much like our own sun this alien sun is. Without it, the planets surrounding it would perish and fly away into space. As with our own sun, it is the center of this alien solar system. And as we drift among the planets, lost among the stars, wondering about the existence of UFOs and creatures from other planets, we see the many asteroids and meteors that speed by in the inky blackness. Are these hunks of barren rock all that is left of a once great alien civilization, which destroyed itself in the wake of an incredible nuclear holocaust? Or are these hunks of flying rock actually the beginnings of yet another planet? Hundreds upon thousands of meteors cluster about a magnetic field and are then pulled together in an incredible explosion of rock and gas. What is the source of life in the universe, insofar as we know the universe? What is the secret behind the greatest mystery of all, the secret of life? Here among the stars, we may find the answer. Here are some incredible UFO sightings. Here we show views of a drawing of a UFO made by an eyewitness to a sighting and shown to astonished authorities. The eyewitness insists that his story is genuine. This incredible piece of documentary evidence shows a classic disc-shaped UFO hovering in the night sky over a field in southern France. It is considered by all authorities who have investigated the sighting to be an authentic eyewitness encounter. Here is another UFO sighting with a slightly blurred shot of the UFO taking off from a scorched field in the deep south. Here is another UFO performing an acrobatic spin in the air over the ocean. Here, this UFO streaks from right to left as it crosses a patch of sky in the western United States. Here is another view of the same UFO as it sped away into the distance before 10 astonished observers. And now the UFO dips behind a clump of trees in this final shot of the series. Here is an incredible shot of the UFO as it hovered over the head of a vacationing laborer in Detroit. The UFO hung in the air for several minutes, then abruptly departed, streaking away to the south at more than 1,000 miles per hour. Here, a UFO hovers over the ground in this shot taken by an Ohio man in 1966. Here is a UFO hovering over the ground taken on a late afternoon in New Orleans in 1965. The UFO is in the upper right corner of this photo. Another disc UFO appears in the sky. Every day, even though Project Blue Book, the official United States inquiry into UFOs, has shut down, hundreds of UFO sighting reports continue to pour in from all corners of the world. Here, a UFO flies low over some power lines. UFOs are often seen near power stations and nuclear power plants. Are UFOs interested in our resources of nuclear energy? Here, a UFO hovers near some trees in a sequence of photos taken by a man doing portraits of his family on a Sunday morning in 1963 in his backyard. Suddenly, the man heard a strange whirring sound over his head and turned to see a classic disc-shaped UFO. He took these two astounding photos, and the object, whatever it was, vanished. Here a UFO streaks through the sky, photographed by a passenger on a commercial jetliner. This UFO was seen over the Pacific Ocean in 1963. Here, a UFO hovers near a tree, in this photo taken by a professional photographer on assignment to do a story on nuclear power plants. Another example of the continuing UFO nuclear energy connection. As man reaches for the stars, he will learn more about the universe around him. Is there life on other planets? Do UFOs exist? Is there a race of intelligent creatures out there in space, silently waiting for us to join them as rulers of the universe? Although these questions continue to baffle the experts, every day man amasses more knowledge which will help him understand his world and himself. The cases you have seen in this film are only a few of the many documented UFO sightings, and the research continues. As long as even one UFO sighting remains unexplained, the questions will persist. Do UFOs exist? Are we being watched by alien rulers from the stars? Are we really the descendants of aliens who landed on our Earth many millions of years ago to colonize our planet and then departed? As science combines with the ever-curious intellect of man, we may learn the answers to these questions and discover that in the vast universe we live in, we are not alone. Do you believe in UFOs? Or perhaps more importantly, do UFOs believe in you? As we look at the wonders of nature, we ponder our own relationship to the world around us, and then our relationship to the stars. Are we the most advanced race in the universe? Or are we merely the children of space? We must learn to understand and control the forces at work in the world and to conserve our natural resources, our air, our mountain streams, our beautiful lakes and our forests, if we are to survive on our planet. If man is foolish, he will destroy in a single terrifying nuclear holocaust all that has been created since the dawn of time. Here we see the wreckage left in the wake of a flood, as waters which can generate electricity and benefit mankind become a reckless killer, destroying human lives and millions of dollars worth of property. As man looks at the world about him, he is continually reminded that only through proper management of resources and a proper understanding of the forces at work in the universe can he hope to expand his knowledge of the universe. And of course, if man does not treat the Earth's resources with respect, he will find himself without food, without water, air, or shelter, and become the ruler of a dying planet, killed by man's own pollution. These are just a few mysteries of outer space, and just a few of the incredible forces at work in our world. We hope you have enjoyed our journey through space and time, and that you will wonder, what is out there in the blackness of night? Man will someday know the answer, as he becomes the ruler of the universe, and finally unlocks the mysteries of Star Force.